In today's episode, I chat to Linh Podetti, an entrepreneur and a social change maker. Linh tells us about her early days in business, which led to the creation of Outsourcing Angel, a business which has had far greater impact than just earning profits. Linh also tells us about the importance of social entrepreneurship and how can any business make a difference. So buckle up and let's get going. Hey guys, welcome to the 6th episode of Try with an Entrepreneur. Proud to bring you guys a very special guest. Linh, come on in. Hi, Linh.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for coming in our show.
And thanks for having me.
Beautiful day out there, Linh. And
Yes.
you got a very special story to share.
Yes, I can't wait.
Let's get going.
Yes, let's go.
All right. So, Linh, let's go back to the early days.
Yes.
So you came to Australia when you were 9 years old. Did growing up in Australia influence you somewhere to be the entrepreneur that you are today?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, being born in Vietnam and raising in that time where you were so poor, you had nothing. Coming to Australia was just like the most fortunate thing ever for me. I just felt like, oh my God, I can have anything I want now that I'm in Australia. Just the abundancy, the schooling. I knew that if I just work hard and really take advantage of what Australia can offer me, I will be successful. And so even being born in Vietnam, I knew that I wanted to be successful. Like I didn't have the mindset like a lot of the Asian people. I was like, how do these rich people get rich? I want to be like them, and they're just human beings. Like I want to be like them.
Yeah.
And so being in Australia, like, I'm always feeling so grateful for Australia. If it wasn't for Australia, I wouldn't be where I am.
That's it. And then you start Outsourcing Angel.
Yes.
What made you come up with this idea? Was this at the back of your mind? I know you said that you wanted to start something.
Yes.
But was Outsourcing Angel at the back of your mind?
No, I didn't. My journey wasn't straightforward like that. So I didn't come from a family of business owners or entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
I had no idea about business, like zero. I did study international business, but coming out of uni, I'm like, what do I do? How do I make money? And so I went to a corporate world and worked 9 to 5. And one day, a friend of mine sort of gave me these nail polished, as a gift, because he owned a beauty supply store. And when I got the product was Australian made, it was so cheap to do, and I was like, I can actually turn this into a business. And so I just took whatever opportunity I had at the time.
Yeah.
And I had no passion for nails, had no passion for beauty in any way, but just the passion to start something. So I just took the leap and started.
And that's probably the first passion that you need, isn't it? It's not to say it's probably better to have a defined goal, but just that passion to start something. Yes. Probably is the best first step for anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So other people are actually fortunate that they might have the skill set that they're really good at, or they knew what they want. They're just scared to do it. But I actually have zero skills in things. I just knew I'm a good people person, but that's about it. And so nail polish was the first business. Then that didn't go well. But then when I still didn't want to go back to 9 to 5. But then the next opportunity came to me was when I was networking, going out there trying to figure out what I'm going to do next. Business owners started to say, oh, hey, my website's not working, I don't know how to do marketing. And so I started sharing knowledge that I learned from my nail polish business to them. Didn't think that I could turn it into a business or anything, but they just didn't have the time to do it. So they said, Linh, do me a website, I'll pay you. I'm like, okay then. Yeah. So I started project managing the overseas staff for them, getting the work done, on a project base. And so that's how my next business started, Red and Black Solutions.
All right.
And then Outsourcing Angel came about because after that I'm like, okay, well, what if I remove myself as a project manager and hire overseas people for clients to work directly with? And that was the idea. And
I guess there's that need for a country like Australia, isn't it? Because unfortunately in Australia things are expensive or it gets expensive as we go. And every day, as you said, small business owners struggle with this admin related graphic designing and all that stuff. And if you can put your hand up and say, I can do it for half the price or for a lesser price, there's a natural market right there.
Yeah, definitely. And I really want to encourage people to see it in a different way too. I mean, these people are so unfortunate to live in a country so poor, have no opportunities to make a living, and yet we in a country like this, we can actually do something to help those countries and yet get the benefit from it. Like you're giving them a job, you get to pay it cheaper, and then you're actually helping to solve poverty in those countries.
In
so
the
I just see
countries.
like it's a win-win thing.
Win-win.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously touch on your social entrepreneurship
Yes.
stuff as we go. So with Outsourcing Angel, coming back to it, when you officially launched, how was the market at that time? You know, you're in
Yes.
the virtual assistant industry.
Yes.
What was the current Australian landscape, and how did you really aim to differentiate
Yeah.
your product or in fact your service?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, at the time I think outsourcing and VAs weren't as popular.
Yeah.
It was still like, you know, I'd rather someone local, and I'd rather work with some company that is, you know, in Australia. It was a bit more taboo at that time. But I mean, that's like nearly 8-9 years ago, but I stuck within that outsourcing business, and now it's become a lot more popular. Like people just feel like I'm going to be left behind if I don't be smart about my money. Like, why would I pay someone local and instead of paying someone, you know, a lot cheaper overseas? And so it's becoming now a, you know, like the common thing for everyone.
And for those of for anyone who doesn't know, including me, how does Outsourcing Angel actually work?
Sure. So I mean, there's so many websites out there where you can hire these people. You've heard of Upwork, who used to be called Odesk. There's like online jobs, PH. It's like an eBay for freelancing, right? Like as in eBay is where you buy products, but there are these sites that for you to hire resources. The only problem is that you got to go and find them. It's like a recruit, you know, you got to recruit. Not everyone's good at recruitment, and you know, it comes down to like, how do you know if that person is good? You got to interview them, you got to test them out. So all that is
you're pretty much giving your brand and reputation to someone else, isn't it? So a lot of business owners, they're not, you know, they don't want to spend time recruiting. So they're like, okay, well, can you help us recruit? Because we just want to tell you what we want. I want a VA or a virtual assistant that can do this, and that. You bring them to me. And so we match them not just with the skill set, but the personality, you know, whatever you like. If you're in America and you want them to work at a specific time, we'll find you that person. If you only want them to be 4 hours a day and not 8 hours a day, fine. So based on your specs, we go and do the recruitment. You still busy doing what you do at your work until we give you the VA. And then you just do the interview. And the thing is, we've already done the filtering and interviewing so many people that we give you the best to interview. And so we usually just have to give them 1 or 2, and they're like, yep, I love them already. And they just get to spend an hour or something to interview, and then boom, get started immediately. And so the relationship will be between the client
and the VA
and the VA, and you are like the umbrella which is just sort of around and managing the whole process.
But we're quite hands-on, because we at the end of the day, it's still 2 people trying to work together. And so we try to educate the clients on communication, on how to work with overseas people, tools and softwares, because at the end of the day, you're working remotely as well. It's different to working next to someone. So we've been experiencing that. So we share with them, you know, what platforms and softwares to use, expectations, because not a lot of small business owners, it might be their first time hiring someone too, so they might not be familiar with staffing, with like, okay, they think that they hire a VA and then it's like, now you're gonna help save the world now. But you have to train them, you have to spend time with them, onboard them, and it's like a new relationship. You got to invest in that relationship, right?
I mean, what you are essentially doing is you are just saving them. You're obviously saving them money, but you're also saving them the time of doing all that, isn't it? I mean, all the mucking around that you might do, just trying to get your website up and running, or that little brochures that you want to design or printed, or as you said, recruitment. You're just saying, we'll do that all for you. You just run your business.
And then we've already, I mean, I didn't start off being such a great outsourcing person. I made so many mistakes as well. I chose the wrong person because they said they were cheap and they said they could do it. And then they ripped me off, they ran away. I just couldn't get them to do the work. But then years and years of just doing it, that I've learned how to find the best person, how to work with them. So then we're sharing that with the clients too, so they don't have to go through all that trouble. Like, you know,
Well, let's share with us what are some of the early challenges that you faced launching this. And I guess because it's I guess, you know, you're going and telling them, look, I'll do that for you, and it's not necessarily sometimes about price, because people want reliability and reputation. How did you convince people to sign up with your service?
So I started Red and Black Solutions, which is an agency, you know, trying to project manage. So that's where I made most of my mistakes. This is where I was like, trying to work with people, and then they didn't turn up and they didn't do whatever.
Yeah.
By the time I launched Outsourcing Angel a few years later, I didn't make those mistakes anymore. So I actually knew how to recruit the people fast. I knew how to work with them, and so I didn't make those mistakes. But the challenges when you're starting new is the new brand. Outsourcing Angel was a new brand. No one knows you. So we had to do a lot of lead generation, like doing a lot of Facebook ads, trying to get our brand out there to a lot of cold leads. And just building the database from the beginning. And I also made a really smart decision at the time to partner with someone that was good at lead generation, because I wasn't really good at that. I'm good at operational, I'm good at delivering the service, but don't love the trying to bring in the clients. So I met a guy named Charlie, my business partner.
And I seen him, I think, in your vlogs as well. We'll put a link to your vlogs, YouTube video on that as well.
I'm a YouTuber.
YouTube as well. You can see how natural she is. And I think she should interview me.
I love talking.
Go for it. Go on.
So basically, I partnered with him, and it's just made the business just bloom and grew so much faster, because he focused on his strength, which was bringing in the leads. I was focusing on delivering the service to the clients.
Yeah, that's a beautiful partnership, isn't it?
The only challenge in that is that it's like working with another partner. So when you work with a partner, the first few years it was a bit of challenging in terms of trying to get used to their personality, figure out their strength as well, like knowing that when he's doing this thing, it's causing trouble here. If I'm doing this and stepping over his area, it's causing problems there. So it was more about the challenge in trying to work together with a business partner that made it a bit difficult during the process. But now that we've gone through it, and we look, being with someone longer, you just know them and you trust them, and you just know their intention. So now it's so much more smoother. Remember, at the end of the day, if you just spend that quality time and train them right, they're gonna just replace you. You're developing more clones, and so do take in that time to do that. And so I think that's the challenge in it that people don't think of. Because we make the service quite easy too. There's no contract. There's no it's month by month or week by week, and so you very much can sort of get the service on immediately, and you don't have to have it forever. So people look at it like this transaction thing, but they don't realize that, hang on, at the end of the day, you're still hiring an employee who's working for you. And you need to think of it a long-term thing. Because if you stay with this person long enough, that you can almost read each other's mind eventually, and then they're going to be able to do things so well for you that you don't never want to lose them. And that's the point.
And you're also making a difference in someone's life, isn't it? And I know you're very outspoken on this. Tell us a bit more about this whole social entrepreneurship that you got going.
Sure. So the way I see it is that the clients and myself are helping these people in the Philippines to earn a good living. I don't see our job stops there. I really feel like our VAs need to also pass on that learning, pass on the knowledge that they have to their next generation of people. Because to be honest, I believe this is actually the solution to solving poverty. Because if we obviously can't bring them all to Australia, but we can help them stay in their country and earn a good living and working from home. And so we're encouraging our VAs to actually do seminars, workshops, and teach disadvantaged kids or teenagers on how to work online. So we've got computer programs, we've got training programs, so that we could actually help these people eventually get a job like themselves. And apart from that, we partner with some of the Villani Foundation, SOS Foundation. So these are established charities who have orphan kids and kids coming from a violent family, and they're all there, and they just don't have a set future. And we wanted to go in there and show them that they can actually learn, teach themselves computer skills, teach themselves stuff on YouTube, and then actually get a job working from home.
Oh, that's amazing, isn't it? It's like that ripple effect.
Yes, we want that ongoing effect. We don't want it to stop.
You help your overseas network by giving them a chance to earn an income from, and then in return they help change someone else's life. Let's talk about this social entrepreneurship a bit. How important do you think it is for organizations today to really integrate that as a social element in their business? I really think it's the reason why we have such a great culture. Because
even a lot of VAs are knocking on our door wanting to work with us because of our social side. They realize that we're not just in it for the money. We're in it to help their country. And so we've got so many, that's why we probably can find really good applicants compared to if someone else did it themselves. Because we've just got a lot of quality people eager to work with us. The other side of the thing is that we're all working towards a mission. And you know, when everyone is working towards solving a problem in the world, you're just more motivated, you're fulfilled, they're excited to go to work. And because we're not just grinding for the money, we're grinding to solve the world.
That's awesome. And I think every business needs to have that social element, as you said, isn't it? Because gone are the days that business is all about making profits. I think business is all about making a difference. You know, obviously profit's important. So, Lynn, you're very passionate about people making that leap of faith, I guess, into entrepreneurship. In fact, you made actually telling me that after this, your goal is to make sure that I jump into entrepreneurship. How does one person actually find out or to actually know that they are ready to make that leap of faith? And what are some of the ways that they can validate an idea they have, thinking that it's actually suitable for as a business venture? Cool.
Well, there's never a perfect time to start anything. You really just have to take the plunge. But don't do what I did, which was I just quit the job before I even made any money in the nail polish business. And also don't start a business that you're not passionate about. So if I had to do it all again, I would definitely have to do something that I'm passionate about and not chase the money. The other thing also is that don't just start a business like just thought of a random idea and then try to start like maybe I want to start a florist business and I'm going to start one. You really need to find what's the gap in the business in the market. Like if you do like flowers, okay, what are the other florists doing that is missing? That is you know, if you were to do it, you would do it differently. And then start the business that is actually going to be different.
Or in our one of our previous guests was Jim Penman. He was just into gardening and mowing. Exactly. He loved it, and now he's he's got one of Australia's most recognized brands in that industry. You know? Anyway,
you don't have to invent anything new, but you just need to make something that's already existing better. And it's good that there's things that are already out there because it's already validating that people need the stuff. But it's just finding the difference. It's just going to make your life easier, or it's going to give you a more chance of succeeding if you start out right with something that is unique to the market.
And another very interesting thing that you practice is called digital detox. What's this about? Tell us about this.
So recently I had my first anxiety attack. I was driving the car and all of a sudden I felt this panic mode, and then as I was doing some life coaching trying to figure out why I think that, I started to unravel that I was actually going through some stress with work that I didn't realize I was stressing. I mean, definitely balance my life with family, hobbies, work. But what I realized that was still embedded in everything that I was doing was my connection to the internet, the connection to my apps. So my brain never stopped. I was always like, almost
just keeps on ticking and ticking and ticking, isn't it?
Going from one app to another and wasting a lot of time searching Instagram and Facebook and doing all that stuff. And even when I'm going out, I take Fridays off and I go shopping and do whatever I want. But then I'm holding my phone all the time. So basically I realized that I don't like it, and I decided to
so that's what I was trying to give this guy a bit of a shot.
Like we went opposite lanes with me. Oh my god, I'm like
for anyone listening, I just tried a little bit of a daredevil stunt, that's why. It's silly me, but go on.
So basically it just made me aware of the way I use my phone, and I felt like I was addicted to my phone. And so I went on a journey of just trying to detox for it. So I went to Bali for a holiday, 7 days. I left my phone at home. I thought I was going to get anxious of not having my phone. It was actually the best decision because I was present with my family. While I'm at the pool, I'm actually reading a book. I'm doing things that aren't related to my phone.
And it's crazy, isn't it? Because we are ever so attached to this little device right here. I mean, even me and anyone in this world, the first thing you do, even if before you brush your teeth, is actually go on Facebook and waste your time on reading other people's stuff. All my friends looking, I don't think you're a waste of time, but still I think it's a waste of time looking at all this stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's still definitely useful, but just use it in a way that you feel in control and it's not controlling you. And I started to realize, oh my god, I go toilet with it, I have to bring it with me, like brushing your teeth, doing anything has to be my phone. The first thing I opened was my phone. And so I stopped all that now. I made rules, I set rules about when to use it, how to use it. I deleted apps that I felt like it's not really important. Like, I don't have Facebook icon anymore.
Geez, that sounds hard. When you said it, it sounds like, how can you live without Facebook? But although there are people who live without Facebook, it's not everything. But I know what you mean.
You can still go on Safari and search the site and use it, but just because it's harder to click on it, you use it less. And I just got this idea from a book I'm reading right now called, I think, Hyperfocus or something. Anyway, he said to group all those apps that it's mindless apps, like I'm talking about, like Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Group them into a group. You know, when you select a few apps and put in one category. Instead of calling it like social media, call it mindless. Because you know that when you're about to access it, you're about to go into a
different zone.
And so after I categorized, I actually felt a bit deterred from clicking on certain.
And has this affected your business life
Oh yeah, I am just so more productive because I am like a lot more focused on my tasks. And then in the morning as well, I wake up at 4 a.m. as you might know from my YouTube videos. I wake up at 4, so the first 2 hours for me is very important. Like I work on the hardest task first. So I actually refrain from touching my phone for the first 2 hours. And I don't sleep with my phone next to me anymore, it's just away. And so by the time I touch my phone at 6 or 7, it's like I've already got the hard work done. I've been productive already. And so when I check on my phone, I don't feel as guilty, and
Well, Lynn, you run a very successful outsourcing business and a media production company. You do all these vlogs, and now it's great that you're testing out all these different things and all that stuff and all that. Where can someone actually follow what you do? Because sure, people are interested.
Sure. So I have a personal website, Linh Podetti, so LINHPODETTI.com, down there. My personal website will show you all the channels, Instagram, YouTube. So I've started my own vlog. I decided to vlog every day and really take people behind the scene of not just my business, but it's more about how does a woman still be able to look after the family, raise a family of, I have 3 kids and have a marriage, and still be able to do other things in life too, because that's my belief. I believe that you shouldn't have to sacrifice anything in life. You just need
balance.
A good balanced life. And I really show you behind the scene of how I can do it. And it really takes a team. Life is a team sport. So I have a lot of staff that works with me. I have a cleaner. I have different people in my life that makes my life easier. And so I want you to see it behind the scenes so that you could, get some inspiration and realize that you don't have to, just because you're a mother doesn't mean you can't start a business or go to the gym or do all these things, because you will see how I juggle them all.
Well, so Lynn, where to from here is the question I wanted to ask from you. I mean, you're doing all this. What do you have planned for the next few years? So do you plan ahead for what's coming up?
Yes. I'm such a big planner and dreamer, so I definitely want to grow Outsourcing Angel and my that business to double the size next year. And I started to hire more smarter people than me, more expensive, to really help me grow the business this year. And but I'm also starting a few ventures on the side. So I have an Instagram service business that's coming out. I do have a video animation company that I want to spend more time growing. But next year, one of the big goals for me is to also write my book. So I really want to write a book about how you can actually free yourself and outsource.
And I'm sure people would love to hear, I guess, covering a bit of what we talked about here as well, and all the other things. Look, thanks for all that energy, Lynn. I love the energy that you sort of transferred to this show as well. Thanks for sharing all that. Great story, coming into Australia at the age of 9, starting, I guess, trying and testing a couple of businesses, and then being successful with this company called Outsourcing Angel. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been so fun and easy, relaxing, and just feel like I'm talking to a friend here.